Hey guys, so today is my first video ever on this channel. So my name is Ludivine, but I'll be using the name as Ludix because I like Ludix. And I'll be doing makeup for you. So today I'll be doing one of my favorite makeup that I do whenever I want to go out. So I have a date tonight, so I'll be prepping myself for you guys. So I have all of my makeup supplies right here. So I have all my brushes, I have my eyeshadow palettes, my skin stuff, and my mirror is right there. My hair is wet because I just got out of the shower, so don't be upset about that. Yeah, so let's dig into it. So first I'm gonna apply my primer. So I'm using the, sorry it's a bit used, but I'll be using the Too Faced Plump and Prime. So I usually put like 2 to 3 pumps in my hand, and then I just put it all over my face. This, so especially on the cheeks and the forehead, because I have an oily T-zone. I have pretty much normal skin, but I have an oily T-zone, so I want that makeup to stick. Then I'll be using my favorite foundation, which is at the moment the Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the Luminous Foundation. It's the shade 130N. So I'll be using my favorite brush, which is the Morphe X Jeffree Star. It's the JS1 makeup brush. It's round and it's pretty. It's fluffy, but it's dense enough, so it can apply light coverage and you can build it up. So I really like this brush. Plus it's pink. We like pink. So I'm shaking my foundation a bit, and then I'm applying 1.5 pumps. And then I'll just apply it all over my face. So I'm starting with the cheeks, and then I'm just gonna apply that all over my face pretty evenly. So that's done. Now I'll be applying my favorite concealer, which is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Light to Vanilla. So to apply my concealer, I mostly use brushes because I don't like the way sponges apply on my skin. So I'll be using the Morphe M173, which is a small, round, pretty puffy and pretty dense brush. So my concealer, I like to only apply it underneath my eyes because I feel like I only need it under my eyes. And then once I apply it, I like to set it straight away because it creases. So I'm using the Anastasia Loose Setting Powder in Translucent. But I also mixed in there a little bit of Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom because I felt like the pink was too pink. But I like a little bit of pink under my eyes because I have a pretty pinkish undertone skin. Then I'll be doing the other one. And then for the rest of the face, I like to add a bit more coverage. So I recently discovered the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. So it's in the color 1 Fair. So it's basically a pressed powder, but it's but the packaging is really nice and I really like the way it sits on my skin. And so I'm just blending that foundation again on my forehead because I have a little bit of creases. And then I use the same brush, but I use the other end. And then I just dip it in my powder like this. And I'm just gonna set my whole skin. But it goes really well with this foundation because it doesn't become orange after a few hours. So this is nice. And it also adds a bit of coverage, I feel like. And it makes my skin look kind of like a doll, which I really like. And I don't use too much coverage on my eyes, and that's why I use the translucent powder, because I have freckles and I really like them. I think they're really cute. So I like to keep my freckles. Yeah, okay, so now that's my face set. I'm gonna go through with my Morphe X Jeffree Star JS2. So it's a powder brush, so it's way more fluffy. And I just like to remove the powder on my eyes a bit. And so now that this is done, I'm gonna go with my MAC Fix Plus Prep and Prime. So it's setting spray because I like to lay down the base first and seal it in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. I feel like doing this first round of setting spray really sets in the powder. It's not all dry yet, but we're gonna do the eyes. So for the eyes, I will use the Morphe X Meredith Duxbury because I love that collection. So I'm gonna show you the inside. So it looks like this on the inside. Sorry, it's been a bit used, but looks like this on the inside, and I feel like it looks very nice and you have a lot of options. So today I'm gonna do kind of a hot and cold makeup because I love the contrast. I love colorful makeup, so that's what I'll mostly be doing on this channel. So today I'll be using this part because the palette is divided into 5 parts, which I think is really smart. You have this one with the pastels, you have this one with the pinks, this one for more of a smoky look, and then this one for a green bluish look, and then you have all the neutrals in the middle, which I think is actually really smart. And the iridescent eyeshadows are so nice. They look so pretty. They look so pretty on the skin. So let's just dig in. So first I'm gonna apply a bit of my eye base, the Anastasia eye primer. So for that I'll be using it's a Morphe TE200 because it's kind of fluffy, but I like to apply my base with kind of fluffy brushes. So I'll be doing both of my eyes at the same time because it's easier for me. So I'm just applying a little bit on my brush. It looks like a little bit, but it's more than I'm gonna need, I think. So I'll be applying that. Yeah, I put too much. Yeah, so it looks blended enough. I'll keep that with me in case it creases, but normally it dries out pretty evenly, and it's very nice to work with this. So what I'll be doing, I think, is based on these colors. What I did last time that was nice, so I'm gonna use this color, which is the Hamptons, and the inner corner, like half a circle, and then on the outside I'll do kind of a wing with the 2 blues over there, which are Brandon and Scrunchies. No, that's the purple one. Sorry. I'll be using Brandon and Diamond Iceberg on the outer corner, and then I'll put a bit of sparkle in the middle. So let's go ahead and do that. So first I'm gonna take I like these. I have a few of these because they're very nice to work with. So they're the Morphe M506. So I like them because they're fluffy brushes, but they're very tiny. So they're very good to be very precise with where you want your eyeshadow to be. So I'll be first going in with the Hamptons, so the peachy color. So I'll be putting that inside like this. So I'm applying the color and I'm blending it a little bit like this. I'm gonna do a lot of going back and forth with colors and blending colors and everything because I really like to be precise with my eyeshadow. And I try as much as possible to do my makeup with my eyes open because since I have small eyes, if I do them closed, then it's gonna look a certain way, and then when I open my eyes, it's gonna look pretty weird. So I like to place my eyeshadow with my eye open so that I know where it's gonna be and how it's gonna look like once I'm really looking like a normal person and not like this. So now that I've placed my first color, I'm gonna go ahead and go with a bigger brush. So for example, the Morphe M441. I don't like the white ones so much because I feel like they're very... The hair, it doesn't feel as nice as the gray-haired ones or the black ones. I feel like these ones are more soft and these ones are kind of more stiff and they're pretty hard to clean. But they're good brushes, but they're not my favorite. So I'm gonna go with the Daiquiri, which is the one right next to it, which is more of a purpley pinkish, just to blend out the edges and go a bit further in the inner corner, all the way up to the eyebrow. See, I feel like it makes kind of a difference. So then I'm gonna go ahead and do that on the other eye. So I'm gonna go back with my M506 again in the Hamptons to intensify a little bit the pink because I feel like it's not pink enough, and then I'll try to blend a bit up the brow like this and a bit down, and I'll do the same on the other eye. That's why I always do my brows after, because I put a lot of eyeshadow in there. So if I do my brows first, then with the gel, the color just kind of sticks in it. Then I'm gonna go again with the pink one to blend it up there. With my eyes and my eye shape, I feel like if I do very graphic looks, it's not gonna look as good as if I do blended looks. So I like to do very different colors and different shapes, but I like them to be pretty much blended. So I think we're good for the pink. So now we're gonna go in with the blue. So I'm gonna take the darker one, which is Diamond Iceberg, and I'm just gonna, so if I have my eye open, it's gonna be like this. So I'm gonna go up there and then kind of put that there. And then I keep opening and closing my eye to see where I can put the blue so that it looks nice once my eye is open. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other thing on the other eye. So I'm really blend it in because I really want this kind of faded look. So this one is more blue than this one, so I'm gonna add a bit more blue on the right side. And so now, with the same brush, I want a bit more definition, but just a little bit. So I'm gonna go in with Endless Nights, which is over there. Just a tiny bit, just to add a bit more definition. So I'll be using the same brush. So I dip it in, that's all, and then I'm just gonna put that in my crease, in the crease of my shape. So see, just a little bit to add a little bit more definition to my blue. It makes a tiny difference, but I kind of see it. So I'm gonna do the same on the other side. So see, you can see it, but it's very light because I want to keep this look very pastel and nice. And I keep it mostly down. Yeah, and then I'm gonna go ahead with another of the Morphe 441, and I'm gonna dip into the other blue color, which is also light, just to kind of blend the edges on the outside and blend the edges on the inside, just to make sure, because the blue is kind of hard to blend in your skin. So I also go ahead a bit underneath, so I just try to blend it in as much as I can, because blue doesn't look very natural, I would say, on skin. Pink, see, it kind of lifts it up a bit more. So I also go a bit underneath. Yeah, and I feel like that's pretty symmetrical and it's pretty blended. So I think now I'm gonna go in with the sparkles, because it's nice. Oh, maybe no, I'll do my under lash line first. I don't know what I really want to do. So I think I'm gonna do a little bit of blue, so I'll be digging in the Endless Night, so the dark blue again, just a little bit, like just right here, just a tiny bit, because I don't like the way, if I do a fully under lash line, I feel like it doesn't look so good on me. So I just do this, and then I'm gonna take the same brush with no added color, and I'll just blend that on the outside. So it's just to add a bit more definition to the makeup, but without putting weight on my eye down. Yeah, I'm not a pro at under the eyes still, but it's just a little bit, so that it looks more defined. Yeah, okay, so now I'll be putting the sparkles. So what I'll do is, I think I'll go in with my finger, because that's how they apply best. So I'll be digging in the Hot Glam, which is right there. So it's a cold blue icy shade. So it looks very nice, as you can see. So I'll just go ahead and apply that on the part where I did not put colors. So I'll just apply it like this, going in the inner corner. Of course, I washed my hands before this video, just so that if anyone is concerned. And now I'll just go in with my pink brush again, and I'll just dip it in the sparkles, and I'll just blend it in the pink. A bit. And I'll do the same on the other eye. Because we have two eyes, so we have to do twice the same thing. And then I'll do the same for the blue side. And there we go. So now I'm gonna apply my mascara, and I don't really do eyeliner because I feel like I'm very bad at eyeliner. So I don't do much eyeliners, and this look is pretty much soft, so I wouldn't want to put black eyeliner on this. But what I always do, where is I always put some eyeliner kajal in my underneath my top eyelashes, because I feel like it opens up my eyes. I don't like to put it underneath, but I'm just gonna put it on the top part. And I'll do the same on the other eye. I feel like when I do this, my mascara pops out even more. So now I'll go in with my mascara. So right now, I don't really have a favorite mascara. I just like the big brushes. So right now I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So it's the Lash Brag Volumizing Mascara. So I'll be using that. I don't use an eyelash curler because if you can look, my eyelashes go down. And I've tried pretty much any eyelash curler, even the heating ones. My eyelashes just don't go up. So when I'm only putting mascara, I don't curl my lashes because with the mascara it kind of lifts them up on their own. But using an eyelash curler doesn't really work for me. And when I do put fake eyelashes, then I curl them a bit just to keep them kind of in place, even though it doesn't last long. But if I put mascara on my lashes and on the false lash, then they kind of stick together. It sounds gross, but yeah. So right now I'll just be applying a mascara. So I like to twist my brush and go from the outside to the inside, kind of like this movement, because it coats all my eyelashes pretty good and it lifts them up. And I'm also going to go ahead and do my bottom lashes. And so I'll do the other eye. And so I did a little oopsie, but I just have to wait for it to dry and then I'll take it out. That happens. And so now I'm gonna do my brows. So how I like to do my brows is, I've always been a fan of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. It's the only one that works for me because the other one is too thick, and the Benefit ones, I don't know, I have a problem with the only ones that work for me is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. So I'm using it in the shade Soft Brown. So first I'm gonna brush a bit my brows. I have pretty thin brows and they're very straight, so they're pretty easy to draw. So I'll just fill in a bit. Yeah, that's enough. And then I'm gonna go again and brush them a little bit, the head off. And then I use the Benefit Gimme Brow Plus in the shade 2. because I also have the Anastasia one, but I feel like it's too dry and it kind of crumbles on my brows, so I don't like it. The Benefit one is a bit more liquid, so it kind of goes better. So what I like to do is I like to go backward in my brow like this to really coat the hair, and then I just put them where I want them to be, like this. So I feel my eyebrows are done. Okay, so now that the eyes are done and the brows are done, I'm gonna do my skin. So I'm gonna use an angled brush, again from Morphe. I love their brushes. So it's the M405. So for bronzer, I don't really bronze, I like more blush, but I use the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil. So it looks like this. It's pretty cute. It's kind of the only one I've been using. Plus it smells like chocolate, so it's very nice. So I like to lift my face. So I like to apply it very high so that it lifts my face again. So I really concentrate on the temples, a little bit the forehead to kind of seal it in. And so I'm gonna go a little bit on my nose, just so that it's not that I want to contour, it's just so that it looks even with the rest of the face. And then I apply it a little bit underneath my chin. And I feel like that's enough bronzer. And then I use also an angled brush by Morphe, but because it's pink at the end, so I don't know, I've always used it for blush, and it's nice, it's soft. And for blush, I have many different blushes because I really like blush. My favorite ones are from Tarte, to be honest. I have 3 of them. But since I have a pretty peachy look, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use that one, which is stuck, and it's pretty pink. So it's the Tarte one, which is the Big Ego. So they're the Amazonian Clay 12-hour blush. I love these because they blend so nicely on my skin. There's many different colors, but it's a very pinky pink, which I like. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip my brush in the blush. And I feel like they're pigmented, but they're not so pigmented. So you can really work them and blend them into your makeup, which is really nice. This one is very pink, so I look like a doll right now, which I love. And then if you can see all my freckles all on my cheek, which I find it's really nice to have peeking through the foundation and the blush and everything. So I also like to put my blush on my temples, put a bit more above my brow, and then on the tip of the nose. I really like blush, so I really go in with the blush. I put a little bit on my forehead and then a little bit on my chin so that it looks even. I'm very pink right now, but I love pink, so not a problem for me. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use highlighter. So one of my favorite ones, it's from Martin Cosmetics. So this is the Shark Zone palette. So there's 3 highlighters, and what I love about these highlighters is that they're cold. They're not warm. I hate gold on me. Like if I wear jewelry, I always wear silver. I've always been cool undertone girl, so I've always liked makeup with blue, greens, cool things, even though I have blue eyes, so I'm supposed to use warm tones. But I don't know, if I use like warm highlighters, it looks weird on me. So I love this palette for that because it's cool. So I'm gonna go again with the Morphe brush. So it's the Morphe M501. So it's the highlighter brush. I think they created that with James Charles for his collection, if I'm correct. So I'm gonna use the one that I always use, which is the Sydney right here. So there's a little shark on it. And so it's very nice because I use it lightly because I don't like to be like blinding, but I always go under my brow and I connect it so that when I move, there's like a very nice glow, and then I always drag it down to my lip. And so I like subtle glows. I'm not a fan of like big highlighters, like where you have a bar on your cheek. It looks very nice on some people, but I don't like it on me. So then I drag it down, and then the rest that's on my brush, a little bit on my nose and my chin, and then so that's for my face. So now I'll be doing my lips. So for lips, I wanted to try something because my mom gave me her Charlotte Tilbury lip cheat reshape and resize lip liner in the shade Pillow Talk. So it looks like this because she's not using it. I'll just apply the liner. So I'm not a pro at lips. I've never been. I don't like, because I have very small lips, so I don't like to put like, I like very neutral and glossy lips. Like I'm never gonna go for a bold like black lip or whatever. I like to accentuate everything on my eyes and my cheeks, not my lips. So I'll just blend that in a bit. It's a very nice color. And so then that's for the lips. And so I'm gonna put some gloss, but one of my favorite things to wear on my lips, it's the Clarins lip oils. They're so nice, they feel very glossy. So this is in the shade Pitaya. So it's pink. But I really like because they feel like glosses and they're kind of colored, but they also hydrate your lips. So yeah, that's for my lips. It's not very fancy, but it does the job. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use my setting spray one last time, which is the second time, but it's for last. And so I'm gonna dry it out again. Ooh, I look weird. I'll quickly dry that out. So there we go. This is the final look. So I hope you like it. I'm not sure this is my best angle, but we're trying things. So this is my makeup. So it's one of my favorite looks. It's very nice. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're gonna like what's coming next. So thank you for watching and have a good one. Bye bye.